Welcome to neTTravel 2.0. Today we're going to learn how to use the most basic functions of this software. Use your username and your password to access to the system. After that, press the login button. We are now on the main screen of neTTravel 2.0. On the upper side of the screen you will see the company logo. Also, you will notice your name and the company for which you are registered. Also, you will see 4 basic navigation buttons. As you may already know, neTTravel is a software that registers sales for travel agencies. Every day after a new sale, an agent can use this form to register the new transaction. For example, let's say that I just sold the ticket. So all I have to do is identify the airline, fill in the ticket number. So this time I'm going to type any number, just for this example. Now I add the passenger name, Smith John. It is also possible to add more than one passenger. For that, I only need to press the Enter key and start typing the next name. Of course, if we are registering more than one passenger, we should also put a common identifier. In this case, it's better to use a record locator instead of the ticket number. So let's type it. Okay, now we have a record locator or PNR, which includes 2 names. The next step is to define how the sale was performed. If you bought the ticket using a website and use your own company credit card, then you just leave it on WebCC. Otherwise, if you use a GDS like Amadeus or Q, you can just switch it to GDS. So these 4 fields belong to the first part of our form. This is the ticket info that we just filled in. Now let's go to the next part, charges. In the field cost, you have to enter how much did you pay for the ticket without including any service fee or tax. For this example, let's say that I paid 500 guilders. This time, as there are 2 passengers, we are going to modify the service fee into 80. As you can see, the tax has been updated automatically. You can also add additional charges on this field. For this example, we are going to type in 10. Once you are done with all these fields, you will see the total below. Notice that pending balance is also the same amount as the total. This is because you still have to declare how the customer paid for these tickets. Depending on the form of payment, you can add cash, bank cards, or checks. For example, this time the customer paid 300 guilders in cash and 294.80 cents in check. Notice that the pending balance is now 0. This means that you are ready to register your transaction. But before pressing this button, if you have any remark to add to this transaction, you can type it here. This time I'm going to type the word test. Once the transaction is registered, you can see it on the list below. Every agent is able to see only transactions made on the current day. If there's any mistake in your transaction, you can always void it or edit it. Let us use the edit function. So this time I'm not going to change anything, but I'm going to add the number 2 next to the word test. And now I press Save Changes. transaction updated. So the transaction we just did is assuming that a customer walked in, bought a ticket, and paid for it immediately. But what about the credit customers? Credit sales are registered pretty much in the same way. So we define the airline, the ticket number or record locator, the passenger name, the method, and let's put here 800 guilders. We see the total, including the service fee and the taxes. But now instead of entering any payment information, we just have to identify who is the customer who will be charged for this transaction. On this example, we are going to use Mr. John Bullough. So here it is. This means that Mr. Bullough will be the person responsible and will be the one to be invoiced for this sale. Now we click on Declare Sale Transaction, and here we go. We can see the most recent sale listed here. So we can see that there is a total amount, but there isn't any payment registered for this sale. The initial balance is equal as a total, and this has to be charged to Mr. Bullough. But what happens if Mr. Bullough comes the same day and wants to pay you for this ticket? Then you just have to click on Edit, add the payment information, and click on Save Changes. In case the customer comes another day, you can always use Customer Accounts, and here you can search for the name of the customer and click on Submit. Now you can see all the transactions with open balances, and here you can see the total receivable from this customer. As I already mentioned, agents can only see transactions for the current day. So in case a customer comes to you or any other agent a different day, they can always use customer accounts and see what is open for this particular customer. We can see here the last transaction we just entered, but there are also other transactions from other days. Let's say that now Mr. Bullough is willing to pay for one of these transactions. You can see here the initial balance as an amount and paid balance is empty. This means that no payment has been received yet for this particular transaction. So we click on the transaction's Add Payment link. So here you enter the amount that the person is willing to pay. For this example, I'm going to type in 500. Now we click on Register Payment. New payment for cell 1858 has been registered. Notice that the initial balance has the same amount, but now we can see the payment we just processed as paid balance. Let's now enter another payment under this transaction. So we previously paid 500, but now let's say that the same customer came to pay for the rest of the balance due. It is 142.40. Now there is nothing left to be paid. So what happened when I press Register Payment? Transaction 1858 has been registered, and we can see that the transaction is not showing anymore on the record of this customer. So on this screen, we will only see those transactions with open balances. At the bottom, we can see the totals as well. If you want to review the payment history for this particular customer, just click here, View all payments received from this client. And here it is. So now we'll go back and we can explore the other options we have here in our navigation menu. If you click on Settings, you will see the current company configuration. If you use the Reset Password link, you'll have the opportunity to change your password anytime. And finally, use the Sign Out button to get out from the system. Okay, this is all by now. Thanks for watching and good luck.